Hello guys and welcome to another Division 2 video. Today with an exciting game between Avalser and Koenig on Tsel, which you haven't seen in a while, and with divisions that we haven't seen in ages, I feel like. We have Morskaya played by Avalser, which I'm not surprised as he's a big Soviet fan, and Colonel Koenig playing Ryhmä. So this is the July Open tournament. The rules are you ban individual units, and every division that has a unit in it with the exact same name is going to be banned. So the name thing is important, for example, because let's say you have the Maxim, the Soviet machine gun, and you ban that. This means that, for example, the Kazaki Maxim in 9th Cav would not be banned because it doesn't have the exact same name. That's kind of how it works. And with that, apparently, what was left was Morskaya and Ryhmä, among others, of course. But these, of course, are decent divisions for this map. So I'm very happy that we actually get to see them. Very excited. So I have been complaining about not that many good games to cast recently, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the one that breaks the curse. So I think let's just dive into the decks and then see what awaits us. Do you have Morskaya, which is the division with the big weakness of not having any armor whatsoever in A phase, and you also only have Sis-2s as your actual AT guns. Everything else, especially lighter stuff, comes in C phase, which kind of sucks because your lighter T is most useful in A phase usually. That being said, it is phenomenal on a CQC map, really fun there, so it's really cool that we are gonna see it here today. Recon tab is filled with a lot of special units, and we get radio, which is not that useful on this division, but you get the F-22 where you can actually use it still. You have the Sniperi and Saperi, which are both fantastic units coming in fast transport, and we have the VF, which are fantastic as well as a sniper and single machine gun unit, if I remember correctly. Pretty strong, and then of course in B phase there's actually some light armor. Infantry tab, really full with 106 infantry, but I mean this is an infantry division and you're gonna do a lot of infantry spamming, so I'm not actually surprised. So we have the Chernier Bushlati, which is not just a nice little single machine gun hybrid unit that is actually quite decent. I think it's quite chunky, so holds up pretty well. Morskaya Pehota DP, which is basically kind of a Kavada DP sorts of, or Shrelka DP sorts of. Then we have the Morskaya Sturm, which is, if I remember correctly, you're going to see the card anyway. It's a double flamer, so pretty good there. Morskaya Zaperi, actually fantastic unit as well. It's just for 20 points you get a TNT and a couple of SMGs. It doesn't have shock, that's kind of a bit of a letdown, but for 20 points I think the whole package, especially the fact that it's a big unit, is actually pretty good. And then a whole Strafnik you can win. And Morskaya after is probably the single most DPS unit in the game as a whole, and so Shrelka DP. So this right here is basically why you play this division on a map like Tsel, because the infantry tab really slaps. You have some other tools as well that really help there. So the support tab is, the usual support stuff. He doesn't bring even machine guns though, but 50 mil is of course going to be a really crucial tool. And he brings a ton of ammo, so he really plans on going all in with the spam. He even brings a commander, together with the leader, of course, in the infantry tab. AT tab, he actually brings AT rifles, but I mean, there's BA-10s in Ryhmä, so maybe that's the reason why. And then Sis-2s, which kind of sucks again. You want to have light AT, especially against Ryhmä, which only has BA-10s, and then in the tank tab, there's like the one card of T. I don't remember. It's like this little light tanky thing of the Soviets. You're gonna see it anyway, but the problem is both of these units are just way cheaper than the Sis-2, so it kind of sucks if you have to bring it, but there's not really a way around that. The A tab is the usual thing, and then the artillery tab, there's another thing that really should be pointed out, and it's the lot of the off maps. You get two pretty good off maps here, especially the GPA KAO, 132 millimeters. This is a rocket off map. It's not quite as brutal as one SSB, but it is similarly devastating. It's basically a nuke, and he actually takes in serious 3 volleys. It's going to be absolutely disgusting. Another very important thing to point out here is the air tab. So he brings 2 cards of Recon Spitfires and a card of P39 in C phase. But that makes a lot of sense because Ryhmä is a very air spammer division, and it is played in this case by the air spammer in the game, which is Koenig. So I would be afraid too if I was a Avalser. And he brings some bosses to round it all up. And on the other side, we do have Ryhmä, the Finnish division that is so cool, but unfortunately on most maps it's just not very good, and there's not a lot of matchup where this can really work super well. It's in a bad spot at the moment, so I'm even more excited that we get to see it played. I'm surprised that we actually see Koenig playing it and not Yapasa. who's like the master of the finish. But anyway, so we have in the Recon tab, of course, a little bit of armor that we have in this division, together with the one in the AT tab, with the BFC. So it's a BA-20. And then we have a good assortment of sniper rifles with the Sisi, and the Tarkampuya. I can't remember what this is. A Kef is. I think it's kind of a hybrid unit or more CQC unit. But this year, it's just fantastic. Like, it's commando, radio, sniper, LMG unit, and you should not underestimate this thing. Like, I have been absolutely decimated by this in a game that I've played a while ago. I think actually against the aaaah, and completely underestimated. Like, these guys will shred like crazy. After the Tarkampuya, it's just great because it's a fast opener with double snipers. I mean, this thing really shreds infantry. And then in the infantry tab, of course, a little bit more CQC. As you can see, quite a bit of the range power has kind of been outsourced to the Recon tab, but a lot of really strong CQC. And some other decent options. So we have the Yakari, of course. I think they're pretty well known. I'm actually wondering, so this letter here, in German it's or but what is in Finnish actually? How do you pronounce it? So I can actually try to pronounce this correctly. Any Finn watching this, please do let me know. We have these guys, and we have the Kivari, which is kind of your range, and then the Ratsu Pionieri, which is honestly, this thing is not that good in my opinion. It's a grenade thrower for 25 points, but you don't even get a machine gun for it, so kind of meh. I mean, you have 3 swarmies, but still. And I think it actually gets shock, if I remember correctly. Not 100% sure. Then you have the Ratsuvaki, which are basically kind of a hybrid unit. So it's okay. Leader, and I'm not even going to try. Double Flamer, though. Really good. And then it's just some more Ratsuvaki Akari in a B and C phase. It's 84 infantry, which for balance is actually, pretty standard. It's kind of, he didn't go full overboard like Avalser did, but he has a lot of veterans there, which is definitely very cool to see. A lot of people probably just spam here. I know that I would. Tank tab, T26, the only actual tanks that you get. Support tab, of course, most important here is the 50mm mortar dress. Is kind of the usual stuff that you get. AT tab, of course, you don't have that many AT guns. Koenig still brings some of them. He even brings a 45mm, which I find very surprising, but I guess he's afraid of getting spammed by BA-10s, and you can bring the Su-57 as well in Morskaya, which you don't actually see. And of course, Lati is a great opener unit, and also great later on, and the Tanki Toriunta is of course a really good tank buster too, and he brings in B phase because there's no reason to take in A phase. A tab, actually really nice. So he brings everything with double vet. It's like Koenig's trademark. Like a lot of people, I myself included, would probably be afraid of taking that little AA in A and B phase, but kind of works for him. The single 20mm can actually do something against light planes, and the Vekatin, like the Vekatin absolutely shreds, especially at double vet. This thing is really good. They will also shred tanks. This thing is really dangerous. Artillery tab, a lot of guns there, additional leadership too, and then off map in A phase, a plane off map. Again, if you want to take plane off maps, you should take in A phase. This is why Koenig takes in A phase. I mean, and a lot of double vet there as well with the artillery pieces. It's actually really arty heavy for Koenig. Koenig usually doesn't bring that much artillery. And then the air tab, I'm somewhat surprised, I gotta be honest. So he brings DB, the Blenheim is really classical thing to take here, but he decided not to. But it kind of makes sense. This thing's actually similarly fast, better, like similar loadout, less availability, but actually way better resilience. He brings the Hawk, which is not the best plane, but whatever. Recon, the Mirsky, which I think is actually medium resilience, but it's not super fast. Bombla is kind of okay. And then some J88s in C-phase, so there's actually a little bit of spam there as well. So interesting game, or interesting division setup overall. Really curious to see how this actually plays out. And here we are back again. So let's look at these beautiful deployments and see what we can do with them. So first off, the map is a little bit unbalanced. It's definitely more red-sided, as red can basically push in here at the start. This one is easy to grab, and this one is way easy to grab as well for red side. At the same time, even if red doesn't push it, like this flag is super far back. This one is kind of the only realistic one to get down here, but even that can be a bit of a stretch as you have to cross this open. There's so many ways or angles on you can cover that off. And this one is realistically grabbable for blue side as well. And everything else is just very deep. That's a big bit disadvantage. So down south, Avalser doesn't really go super aggressive. He pushes forward a little bit with, I guess, it's a PTRS, as you I guess assumes Koenig will push relatively far forward, but otherwise relatively defensive. Koenig goes defensive as well, though. Alati to prevent a rush from the other side, and then just a Yakari to hold it. He's also not going super aggressively up here, but he has a large deployment. I guess he wants you can kind of cover off this flank from here a little bit, but you also can push this that one. So I guess that's the plan. We do have some Yakari, Natsubaki, CC, leader, all these kind of things. So yeah, my guess would be he tries to push over there. Up here, Avalser goes defensive as well. The OB-25, oh, not the OB-25, it's odd support, but going up here makes a lot of sense too. He brings early AA, reasonable. And then just defensive rear, assume this is a machine gun. No, he doesn't have a machine gun, so I guess one of these. Something in here, and then something up here. And he tries to get in there, which is definitely ballsy, considering that Colonel actually has some good opener tools with the CC and the Tarkhan Puya. In the center, Koenig deploys defensively here as well. He has, of course, a slow division, which is definitely going to put him at a little bit of a disadvantage. And he's going to go for a big push up here, which is, I think, the usual. You have to expect that. Avalser counters that with not a lot of himself, so he goes defensive down here. Is this AA going? Oh, it's actually A here. That's a bit risky because A can definitely push over here. But yeah, he brings some Chernier and one Morskaya Sturm there. It's probably not going to hold up well against what Koenig is there. And then here is the big deployment by Avalser. It's actually pushing. He decided that down south is the place for him to push. Looks like he starts sneaking some recon past the lines here. He also has, again, a 25 mil. So he's really expecting the airplay relatively early on. Might also be PTRSs going there. Yeah, one of them is. So he's trying to sneak PTRS through the back lines. And some Osnats and all this kind of thing. So this is where the big opener is coming. Koenig, on the other hand, deploys defensively again. He's not super fast with his transport, so he has to be a little bit careful here. I think we're just going to start this, and see how this goes. I'm very curious there. So there's AA everywhere. That being said, it's no vet. And I feel like with the units that Koenig has, like even if it was the Blenheim, I feel like 125 mil at no vet probably wouldn't stop it. He actually wants to stop any recon. Or maybe he expects the off-map lane that Koenig has. Who knows? It's certainly something that we see Koenig do quite frequently. So I wouldn't be surprised if Avalser was expecting that. I didn't even remember that, you know, Ryhmä had that, but good to know. Sure. Let's see what's happening here. So Koenig should get in. It's a PTRS that unloaded there defensively. 14-10 for Avalser, but I mean, that's just because Koenig's transports here haven't arrived yet. And same thing right here. Takapuya is probably going to stop that Morskaya Sturm. I don't think they have... Hold on, let's see. I didn't actually check it out. If they have smokes, which they do, okay, they might be able to survive. If Avalser pays attention, which apparently is not, which is totally fair. This is where, you know, important things are happening for him. Osnats BMF wins out against the, was it Tarkhan Puyo or Sissi? Because this thing also has commando and a machine gun and a sniper. So, anyone. No, Morskaya Sturm goes down. So this flag should be back with Koenig momentarily. Already re-grabbed this one down south. Up north is where it's really happening. Meanwhile, these guys are pushing across because unless you like kind of rush up here, it's actually safe to get in there because these units are not super fast themselves. These guys, of course, can hold the range, which is, I guess, why they're here. 50mm mortar now being called in. There's none of these by Koenig here. T26 is moving in as well. Also, that's in a nice defensive spotting position. Peter, oh, I forgot. Yeah, of course, this is an amphibious transport, so he can actually cross here. Didn't even need to unload it. Wow. I guess a sniper, I'm not sure what it's that for, but I guess he's afraid that Koenig might do the same thing. And that, of course, can be crucial. I'm not sure if this is a support gun or an artillery piece. It's this one, so it's a support gun. Suppose the Chernier here. I mean, Avalser's line is relatively thin. Like, there's a few units everywhere, but it's not that many. And, like, some of these, like the Chernier, are not expensive. They're also not very good in return. That's kind of how it goes. Osnat Saperi got in here. Morskaya Deck gets forced off by the BAF, which is, yeah, he can pan it with the AT rifle, but it needs to be a little bit closer than that. 50mm mortar coming in here as well. So Avalser trying to use those, and he can definitely use them well. I've been on the receiving end of them. He knows how to use them properly. He's preparing another pusher with some Osnats Saperi and the Morskaya Deck and the Morskaya Shurm. So it looks like he's planning to push into there. He already moved the PTRS into position. 50 mortar is also ready here. So Avalser is doing a nice play here of just, you know, trying to push in here. Doesn't really work. Okay, so we try to push down south. Really love to see that. You definitely have to do it that way. Now, Koenig actually responds with bringing 220mm on his side. So my guess would be that Koenig is preparing to use his own Air Force and is afraid of something like that's the mix something recomplain that Avalser could also bring in a note. I think it was Koenig that told me that you should take this. I don't know. But yeah, like this and the Spitfire both bad resilience, so it's possible that these would force them off at double that at least. Boston coming in now for a big bombing run here. 50mm mortar is already on it as well. Might actually be counterproductive as now they are falling back, so take less damage. Koenig dodges the bombing run as the falling back doesn't just reduce the damage, but they also just dodge it without any control there being by Koenig. Koenig actually grabbing this flank now, pressuring Avalser really nicely. And of course, the CCKF is a really strong unit here. 25mm probably spots the Lati. Will waste that. Oh, Lati smoke, I always forget that. PTRS here got in. Looks like he killed something. Yeah, that would be in range, right? It's 400 meters. What's that? Oh, it's one of the 20mm cars. There's only one left. Let's see if Koenig has noticed. He is busy in lots of places. Avalser has pushed down south, though seems to work, so he now actually grabs this flag, returning the favor there. 25mm might need to run as Koenig keeps pushing here. Tarkampoya spotted the PTS, which also have smoke. Now the Spitfire is in for a strafing run. Fails to even pin the Tarkampoya. Yeah, these are not good strafers. 220mm is just not enough. Tarkampoya now spots a 25mm. Ooh, that's bad. That's real bad. South, not much happening at the moment. But Koenig pushing for this flag now. Actually not even. He just accidentally is about to grab it. As the CC and the back here pushing forward. Morskaya DP. A row of them now pushing in. He's already diverted some of them through here and some of them through here. But he actually needs CQC here. He's calling it in now, but it's one of these cases, and it happens to all of us, where you call it in at the moment where you need it, and by the time they arrive, you're probably not going to need them anymore. But they might actually prove useful here. Koenig now pushing here with all his infantry. Up north, not much happening again. Things have kind of gone stale there with Avalser just not, I guess, the problem that Avalser is facing is, I guess, the BAF. I don't think that he's afraid of being able to push through here with his other forces. I think that his big problem is really just that thing. Oh, that's what he was preparing for. He wanted to have AA ready for this. He got one strike off, but you kind of have to expect that might not be more. The off from here could definitely be a problem. He's bringing a 50mm mortar ready as well. And this, remember, is the Finnish one, which is the equivalent to the Soviet one. Might even be a capture one. I don't actually know. But important thing is, it has 800-meter range. Koenig doesn't really have infantry here to follow up, though. And Avalser is about to reinforce. Still 13-11 for Koenig, though. It's actually very impressive on the bad side of the map. Vekati now coming in a very odd spot. Maybe he can't really spot here. Koenig might be wanting to like move it up here. Remember, like bringing AA close can really go a long way. Oh, PTRS was spotted out by the Akari. Slowly getting finished up by the SVTs, which is not super fast, but they will get there eventually. But yeah, I mean, this is like, this is something that it really helps a lot, and a lot of people are afraid to do that, myself included. But it really helps a lot bring AA relatively close to the front line, as you get max value out of it that way. Especially like a double 20 mil like the Devastation. Same goes for things like Crusaders, by the way. Need to be relatively close, as otherwise they will generally struggle. Oh, these got in though. I'm surprised about that. Getting flanked here by the BAF, and that is slowly killing the belt. The DP though do have the PTRD, and working on the BF but can't kill it. The Morskaya Shroom though, absolutely wrecking. I mean, this thing is, you know, 4 MP40 now that the MP40 got buffed, actually not too bad. And 2 flamers. I mean, it's basically a Shroom with 1 less SMG and an additional flamer instead. And I can't really complain about that. Oh, look at that. Yakari absolutely vibed us, not Saperi. Let's see if Avalser can micro it. Because unless he can micro it to throw the TNT, the Yakari with the Molotov will probably force it to move. But it's at the moment it's reloading. As Saperi drops the TNT, then the other one will probably just finish off the Osnas. I mean, it has Commander and has 5 PPSHs, but it's probably not enough. Well, if it walks into that one, that's a whole other BF now coming in as well. The PTD here is that, so that can't really do much. We do have a Boston coming in, dropping its bombs here. There's nothing there unless maybe it killed the other thing. Bitfire now trying to do a strafing run again. I'm really surprised about it. It's just not good at it. Vekatin moving forward, can't see at the moment. It's not flying over it though. 20 mil, doing its best, it can stop it. CCKF gets killed by the Churnier. That's a big kill there. CCKF are really annoying. DP now coming in down south. That's going to hit, and that's going to hit bad. And the Yakari and the Ratsavaki might be able to just walk in and surrender things. Yeah, this was the big prize here, and it died. The Saperi can definitely do it, but if the Yakari can throw the Molotov and Avalser cannot micro, this is goodbye for the Saperi. And then these are basically up for grabs then, and 50 mil of course is useful, but not when your opponent is moving. You have to lead your target. That's not always very easy. You have the first artillery piece in by Koenig, so that's definitely a good early pick, because remember, this is the 2 infantry divisions fighting, so even when the map is like a little bit fluid and things are happening and the gameplay is kind of, you know, push and take, push and pull. Even then, like, with infantry divisions, artillery can pay off very early on. That's very reasonable. That you can take. Again, Koenig's off map here. Did some damage, but Avalser could follow up with, or Koenig didn't follow up, and Avalser was reinforcing already anyway. VMF for now, actually putting up some pressure here. One of them dies though. Let's see that now that we have reached B phase, if we get armor, we do. So Koenig decided to finally and have a go at this and try to attack things off map here, coming in for the center as well. Down south, Koenig decided it's time for a fresh push after bombing run with some these that we've seen, but also here some Ratsu Pionieri, Kivari and the BEF pushing forward. The journey can't really do much. Lati is now trying to get into the back line. It has 2 swarmies. It can kill the assist free, as funny as it is, as long as it's, you know, shooting at this. Oh, and then it's Q moving. Well, if it's a Q move, you might be able to do something, but before that, not really. There we go. Swarmies are going to wreck the Cis-3. They're slowly killing. They're actually doing quite some damage because it's in the open. 2 health, 1 health. Down he goes. Down here, Koenig's push being successful. Also, Saperi moving in. Let's see how that fight's going to go. Can he throw it? It's not ground attacking. Or the Akari might have used up the Molotov on the line infantry, and both of them get actually pinned, so that's huge. Recon coming in, 25 mil stops that. Lati also snipes reinforcement here. 2 transports already. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts so much. So either going to be Morskaya Pehota or some more Chernier, whatever. Yeah, Chernier. Because the Strafniki come in these little slow transports. Kind of annoying, but I mean, those would be the real prize. Now the 180 is going off here. It's 180, so it should have 3 strikes still, I guess. Morskaya Pehota versus Yakari in the open. Morskaya Pehota in cover. Should be able to stop that. This is going to hurt, but again, is Avalser actually ready to follow up? It doesn't look like it, for sure. Are they actually going back? Yeah, I don't know. Both these players making like off-map plays and then don't follow up. This is a really bad call in general. Something here, oh, this is 3 here, is going after the 76, which has moved. PTRS is ready in position, has not killed anything else, but it's going to have a chance of killing Sissy, and that's definitely a good kill. And then the KM, maybe even a T26. It will probably struggle against that. That's definitely a good kill there. What else happening? Off map's going down. There we go. Sissy. Oh, Sissy survives though. I will now finish off the PTRS. And actually saves this. Which I'm not sure if Koenig redirected here manually or if he knew. He's unloading it early. Off maps goes down. Pinsfing kills a machine gun, but not much else happening. In the meantime, here, not much happening. Down south is a push. There's actually a big push going on. So now we have reinforcement by Sissy Kev. BF are pushing through. Big push here by Yakari and Kivaris. The push from here actually moved up all the way through there. And Koenig seeing some opportunities. I mean, this is what these top players do. You know, the map is fluid. You push somewhere, then you go push somewhere else. If there's too much resistance, Avalser now being forced to stop. I mean, this flag is relatively deep. He might be able to defend it, but the Lati might actually kill Ashrafniki. It would be huge. Boston coming in, trying to bomb this, but Koenig is not actually here yet. I think it would have been better for Avalser to just wait till he actually knows where the target is. Because right now he's wasting a bit bombing strike. This thing could hurt a lot. This could definitely flip the balance here. There's a Vekatin in as well. I don't think it's going to kill it though. Then again, he might. Lati gets unloaded, unloads the Strafniki and is completely missed. Maybe the Morskaya Deck might also take damage if the T-34 doesn't spot it. Wow, what a game. Koenig at a 14-10 now. He's grabbing this flag as well. He's still holding the center here. Lati going after T-34 now. BA-10 finally spots him. Morskaya Deck being unloaded before it can get there. So finally, Avalser has realized it was there and is deciding to, you know, take action. Kaiper reinforcing this here. The 50 mil is going after it. No, it's going for this at the moment. And the Morskaya doesn't see the 50 mil though. It only sees Svatsovaki. The 50 mil could definitely target this very quickly. So an interesting game here so far. I'm surprised that the Colonel got so far in the center here. Next off-map strike coming. Still not much here to follow up, although he could definitely move these forward. So, this plan. Oh, and Koenig has been saving up. He spot a Hawk, which is not very good. But, 2 DBs and Recon. Spitfire, I'm not really sure what it's going after. It's going after the Recon. I think the DBs might be the better price here. I know a Recon is important. But he's retargeted. Now he's microing. There's no AA yet, but the problem is it's still not going to get on the back of anything. Yeah, I think that was a huge missed opportunity there. And they, you know, yeah, they have been evac'd quite a while ago. So they all despawn and the Spitfire is not going to get anything as Recon gets out as well. Wow. That's going to be super frustrating for Avalser. That's going to be really frustrating. So the Kev now pushed forward. Going on the Morskaya Deck, who's not the right unit to fight back here. Danke Doriunta coming in as well, as he spotted the T-34, of course, earlier on. Still 13-11 for Koenig. Very impressive there. Now we do see a fresh push in the center as well. It's bringing 18 in place, which, again, line of sight was wonky anyway, so it's very well possible I can actually see way more than this. It's very likely, actually. T-26 now pushing in the center as well. Sissy machine gun slowly pushing forward. And Avalser now has to push through this again, which is going to be very annoying. So, very good situation there. Now, the off-map went off, and it again forced units away, but Avalser didn't follow up again. Avalser decided to invest in more 25 mil, which is very reasonable, of course, having seen Koenig's air spam. He only has some up north, though, so Koenig can actually still come in other plays as well with his big force. Spitfire here providing a lot of information. Sis 3 currently sitting silent, but also moving forward. The good thing about this, and I think it was an A phase already, if I remember correctly. The good thing about this is you can also use it as an AT gun, which can be super useful in this division. Boss now coming in, down south. He has spotted the 75 mil. Spitfire is nicely providing recon for that, and there's no AA, so I think Avalser is quite happy to take that. However, the Hawk might actually be back up and running. So let's see if the Boston is not going a little bit too deep there without AA coverage. Spitfire, though, can definitely provide that assistance. So, yeah, there we go. Hawk is in. 2 of them. Going after the Spitfire, but Spitfire is faster. Thing is pretty slow. 120 is actually not that bad. Might get on the back of the Boston, though, and Koenig switches target as he sees this opportunity. No, he's still targeting a Spitfire in front of them. You might actually miss out on both of them, because now the 25 mils are there. And, yeah, Avalser is baiting. So he flew over here, and then he turned in the right moment. Trying to get on the back of the Hawk now. I think the fact that this thing wasted ammo on previous run, though, means probably not going to shoot it down, because these things do 0 damage, basically. But with the AA, I guess it's enough. Down south, though, Avalser is losing out quite a bit in that fight. He lost quite a lot of units. T-34 is on its own here, basically. BA-10 is coming in, and Tank Drone is, of course, ready. AT-Gun is also ready, but in a weird spot where it can't really cover off much at the moment. So 13-11 still for Koenig, with him holding both these flags, while Avalser has taken this one, but at the moment is not really able to push any further. Artillery is out of ammo. Currently no more artillery coming in for Koenig, but Koenig is very often not bringing that much artillery. Another Boston coming in down south, going for a big bomb strike. Now he knows exactly where units are, and now he can actually target them properly. Everything is pinned, but nothing is killed. That would be good for a follow-up, but not happening. I think Avalser is wasting a lot of opportunities at the moment by not following up on anything. Oh, Chernier with the PTRD killer T26. Now the CC are up close, though. And I'm not really sure how this is going to happen. It's 3 PPSHs versus this thing. And then this thing, basically, which is an automatic rifle. Not really sure how this is going to work. Or not. What is a GPMG? I don't know. Yep, finish off. Well, these guys help as well, so it's pretty much goodbye. Another off map coming in through the center this time. Where Avalser is all strong. Bring it back to 12-12, though, with regrabbing this flag thanks to the bombing strike. Following up now with Strafniki to BA-10. The only thing that he really needs to be scared of is the Tanki Doriunta here, which I don't think he has spotted yet. Oh, and he definitely needs to be afraid of this, which he might also not have spotted. This is probably going to move into here now, or probably better here, and can snipe all the nice little transports there. Well, it's moving up here, though. I think he spotted the off-map. It's not going to hit that, though. He's going to hit the BA-10, though, if he gets in there in time. T-24 took a pen. I don't know by what. Vector, by the way, can absolutely wreck them. So you have to be very careful about that. They're just going to finish BA-10 off-map here now coming. But again, not really much of a follow-up ready, I feel like. It's turned into a very grindy game, though. So I'm surprised that none of these players have built up a huge artillery force, is what I would have expected. But I guess the airstrike is also on the menu. For the push by Avalser, I mean, it's definitely reasonable, because if you get like all of this, it's really hard for Koenig to actually push across. And it also means, because of the river, it also means that Avalser can like slowly start pushing over here. If he also makes a push up here, we can even support that push and hold and support the whole of that flag. So it would definitely not be unreasonable for Avalser to actually push here now. Whereas for Koenig, you know, he actually being able to apply a lot of pressure here, and I think he can really be really happy for Avalser really just trying to get in there and can't. They're claiming another kill, even though it's not even on the best spot to do that. It's probably going to kill that as well. No Strike DP was unloaded, so he has noticed. It's the T-34 also. I think it might still be in Takidoriunta range. But Koenig's getting pushed back here slowly now. They might have to react on that. Off-map went down, and the next follow-up is coming. Unfortunately for Avalser, there's nothing here, but it's definitely a good guess. Vegatin having you go with the T-34, this thing is an absolutely brutal AA piece. It can kill. Loader knocked out. Not even shooting yet, because of the loader knocked out. This thing can shred tanks. Now it's panicking. If this thing ever shows sidearm, it's going to be done for. And with double star, like, this fire rate is abysmally high. And, you know, the pen is only 30 millimeters, but it will pen eventually. This thing is absolutely brutal. Boston coming in. There's a Bofus here as well, and another Vecatin. This might actually go down. It flies into the right direction, might survive. This Vecatin has not opened up yet. Morskaya here pushing back, still 12-12. With the Shafniki and the BA-10 going down here. Oh no. Oh no. The Circle of Doom has arrived. They can obliterate everything here, basically. Like half of the map that you wipe out. Yeah, look at that. And this time, Avalser is following up. So that's bad news for Koenig. He's going to have a lot of forces wiped out here. It's a singular strike, though. I don't think he does. I think he does one call in, and that's about it. Spear goes down without doing too much. This is not the same. Hold on, did he die? Yep, it died falling back. It died to, oh, the Pack 38 over there. Really nice kill there for Koenig. For 10 for Avalser, though, he takes up this with Strafniki and the Morskaya something. He's retaking this, he's taking this now. He still holds the one up north. Koenig, in the meanwhile, only has this flag of Avalser at the moment. Back to 3rd 11 as Avalser regrabs this. It was, of course, only a momentary grab. But the Doom of maps are now going to go down. First 2 units killed. Everything pinned. Koenig falling back. These guys will have to stop early. I think it's a little. It's not that many forces to follow up. I think it would have been better to have more. But there we go. Next 2 units died. Thing is, if everything is died, that you don't need to have anything to follow up. Like what you will probably do. Target is still alive though. I think that's huge here because the T-34 can still get killed by that, and that's actually massive. CCKF still goes down as well. There's like 5 units there, and everything here being pushed back. Not as key though as I think it would have needed to be for this to really pay off. Simple reason for this is that Avalser has no means whatsoever to follow up in this forest. And if Koenig gets back in there, which he will probably, Avalser will struggle again. This flag in the meantime being regrabbed by Avalser. I think this thing probably forcing off the Morskaya Pehota. Still a massive force via Kari and like the double flame in there. Did the tank here also die? No, I think it's that one. So it actually stopped just out of range of the Tanque Torionta. 12-12. But not a lot of force. Sorry, not a lot of forces here. Had a little hiccup. Morskaya Saperi here. Getting ready to throw in another TNT. But I think it's just slightly outranged by the Akari, which is very unfortunate. I mean, the rifles still work, but like, what's up with the rifles, actually? Oh, Boyfus has been spotted by the Strafniki. Strafniki are going for it. Off map here, being full... yeah, shown up by the artillery piece and the BA-10. I think they're more rather going after the BA-10. Boston having another go. Oh, Bothus might actually die here. No, Strafniki lost line of sight or range or both. Very unfortunate there. Tsavakia got bombed off so that the Strafniki can actually push forward and have a go at finishing that Bothus. Surviving with 1 health. Oh, Boston goes down. That's a huge kill. I mean, both of them are unbalanced, so their income is only going to increase, but still, like, that's huge. And see, this is what I meant. Now follow-up is happening here. And here as well, although Ratsavakian not the best in the casino, but there's no Seeker unit by Avalser here. He definitely has some. It's not that he doesn't have any, but it's going to be tricky. Now, one problem that we're going to see here probably, I think Koenig has, especially with his like hybrid units, he will have the longer breath here in the forests. And that's generally a problem. So if you can prevent your opponent from actually getting into the forest, that is perfectly fine. You don't need to have that secrecy. But as soon as your opponent is in the forest, that's not very good. Other problem, if you actually need to push, you need to push through the forest. So if you're back, like Avalser is at the moment, if you can just defend with a good flag lead, then again, not having that much secrets is okay, because you might be able to prevent your opponent from getting in, and you don't need to push in yourself. But as soon as your opponent can get in, or as soon as you need to push in there, you are going to have a problem. Ju-88 going on with a bombing strike here after the Strafniki. Or did it go up here? No, I think that's artillery. That's going after the blob of 25 mils here. It's a target-rich environment. There's a commander here as well. Wow. I might actually die accidentally. Ratsavaki now coming in here. I guess he's preparing a fresh push here. So this plan here is kind of died by the looks of it. Or maybe there was never really the plan. We do see a fresh push here by Morskaya Saperi and the BA-10 there. That's definitely going to be very helpful. We do see the RG piling up though. Artillery leader here for the 155, so that's going to be a nice triple star. Koenig loves to use those artillery leaders. And I mean, it's, you know, makes artillery pretty good. That's definitely true. This here pushing forward, getting spotted out by the BA-10, but it's a commander unit that should probably survive, especially with the fallback. Without, maybe not so much, but with definitely for sure. Luckily be pushing forward. I think it could potentially outrange the Yurk Pionieri. And then it can definitely kill the 50 mil, which is, I think, the real price here. BA10 would be an easy kill for that otherwise. Strelky DP might be able to save it, but I think it should spot the BA10 before. Yeah, and especially if this thing not moving further forward, the pack 38 might actually get through. Down here, Yakari having a go with the rifles at the Strelky DP, which is not good because it reveals itself. However, the T-34 can't really do much, and if he pushes forward, the Tank will do the trick. Pack 38, got a pen, gets finished off the BA-10. Now the Strelky DP is going to come in to finish it off. Another Circle of Doom off map going off. And another air spam round, a run by Avalser is no off map here. So the DB is really going to hurt. It's going to kill the one single infantry unit here. And it's going to flip that flag back to Koenig. It's actually going to bring it to, no, Avalser still on the 14-10. It's going to bring it to 13-11. Now Shafniki and Morskaya after coming, as well as more AA. Very reasonable. Shafniki to hold it, Morskaya to hold this. Very good call there. But still 14-10 for Avalser having re-grabbed this with a Morskaya Saperi. So both players still taking turns at pushing. F-22 is now coming in. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of them being so far back there. Small calibers, even with radio at like longer ranges, they're just not going to be super accurate. Without radio, they're going to be completely inaccurate. They're going to be like all over the place. We can't see the dispersion, but it's going to be like, I don't know, something like, probably something like, honestly, something of like the size of the leadership circle here, probably. I don't think there's radio for it anyway. Circle of Doom goes down. I don't remember what was here, but I don't think it was that much. So again, and it's hard to know these things, but again, I think a bit of a waste. There's a massive force here, so if you pile up like all the Vatsavaki, I think they will win against the Morskaya after, for the simple reason that the Morskaya after will just have too many targets to shoot at, while also being shot at by all of these. And if the Vatsavaki, of course, can unload it in the open, that's going to be really bad. Oh, and it has to move slightly adjusted direction, and now it's actually out of line of sight, moving in there. Still third line for Avalser, though, slowly ticking down Koenig. And the Mirsky is now flying directly into only 225 mils as the artillery killed the other one and the commander. That's actually a huge kill there. That's a problem if you have to command super close and next to target, like a valuable target, then he actually goes. And there's a massive loss there. That buffed up the AA, lost also one AA piece on top of that, so that's huge. 37 mil not unloading. So DB just having another go, and looks like the blob of all these Ratsavaki just easily killed the Morskaya after, which is such a fantastic piece of TQC. The DB is not actually dropping the bombs. Could have definitely bombed this. I'm not sure if Koenig was aware of it. It's probably going to die now, though. I think that was a mistake. Oh, he's turning for this. Not even sure if he can turn in time to drop the bomb. Spitfire not going to get on the back of that, though. Fails to kill it. The Resilience really doing the trick there. 37 mil might be able to finish it off, though the Vectine might actually finish off the Spitfire. Risky got in, did the bombing anyway. No AA here, so the DB is going to get out. Not sure about the Spitfire, though. Spitfire goes down. Huge kill there. That's an expensive unit. And the battery going after the one artillery piece that's actually really good with the battery fuel next to it. But look at that dispersion. Holy, look at that. It's maybe even bigger than the leader circle. I mean, it goes like from here to here. That's actually pretty big. JU88 getting in. And again, the 137 mil, it's not good enough, and it's not in a good spot to do any AA duty anyway. Shafniki getting forced off again. Not that yet. Something marked here. I guess it's where the Vectine used to be. Artillery now moving. So not a blob getting ready here with a lot of Lantis too. Probably he just wants to brute force his way into that T-34. Two T-26s like in flank positions can definitely finish that off as well. Oh, Ratsavaki. Oh no, they're not getting unloaded. They might. Sissy's here. Very dangerous. T-34 here holding the line. Not much to deal with that. Another Sis-3 coming in. And more artillery. Rafniki moving for you. This flag barely defended, but there's a T-34 now coming in to do just that. Strelky DP here just holding ground. More tanks, more Strelky DP coming in to hold that flag. Defend it. Koenig still ahead at the moment, so as long as the grind continues and Koenig just hold on, he can be happy. Of course, single tip is better. Avalser not letting go though. Back on a 13-11 with him. What did he re-grab? I think he just lost that previously and now he's got it back. This is here being really annoying though, dealing with that Strelka DP easily. T34 needs to get in and deal with that, but T34 of course has to be careful because of pack 38, which I think just spotted the T34. And if it actually stops here to shoot at the Sissy, I think Koenig can be very happy. Pack 34 is going to get a free kill there. Yeah. Morskaya after tried to get in here, I guess he was killed off and unloaded by the Sissy as well. That's a bad way of losing those. Morskaya now getting in, doing a lot of damage. I think bombed something here. It's going after this one now. I guess he spotted it with the recon, but it is not useful anymore anyway. All body unloads both Morskaya after with the artillery pieces going after it. So I guess don't just not leave artillery next to reinforcement roads. Also don't leave off-map next to reinforcement roads because it's going to get arted. So opponent might be afraid of you using it. Which is a fair reaction, to be honest. Tsel here against Strelka DP. Ratsovaki again. Hybrid unit will win that fight relatively consistently. Still 12-12 though, or again 12-12. Push here happening though by Avalser. Lovstravniki. Problem is you should have probably mixed some actual CQC in the mix. The Ratsopioniri can't just handle all of them on its own. I guess it used the TNT on this Stravniki and the rest of them just finish it. Oh no, he has a Morskaya after there. Didn't notice that. D34 meanwhile pushing here. Nothing here to stop that, although the Vector team can probably do it. A Chu-88 and the DB now coming in though. One will probably pin everything here. One will pin this, or at least force it off a little bit. Another 37mm coming in. 25mm are just a little bit too far back for 25mm. Not Chu-88 coming in. It's not actually get stopped. No, it does not. Oh, bombing run actually killed T-34. That's huge. Not sure what this went after, but the whole infantry blob here for sure was forced back. And, well, Yakari making a fresh push in, Nostravniki pushing in over there. And south we do see another attempt of Avalser of re-grabbing this flag. I mean, once you're off the hill, it's really annoying to push back in here, especially if your opponent is better at CQC and close range in general. Sissy here forcing off Morskaya after. Yeah, Avalser has just a tendency of losing those in bad spots. It's very unfortunate for him. Tumerski now coming in for the T-34. I mean, the bomb cloud is not actually that bad. Two of them might actually be able to kill it. With the dispersion from the artillery, maybe not. No. Another AAPs coming in. Very fair. T-34. The tank Junta? No, it's just barely out of range. 20mm now coming in. This thing is not a Vector. Not even close. Goes down. The carry tried to move in. I mean, this thing has a Panzerfaust as well, which is one of the things that makes it so dangerous. 12-12 though, as he re-grabs this, but the carry grabbed this for a moment. Avalser back on a 13-11, slowly taking Koenig down. Not really sure who wins the trading war here. The problem is that Koenig has a massive air force, and he is using it well. So it's going to be tough here, but it's a beautiful balance grind, so I really love to see that. This flag has fallen, actually. Tankidarund is now forcing off the T-34. I'm not sure if Koenig is actually aware of it. Avalser is aware of it. I think he is. Osnats VMF might be able to deal with it. Oh, no! Kills the T-34. It's going to go down now to the Osnats, I think. This thing has command and 4 PPSHs. Oh, but it's also busy with the Ratsovaki. And these guys are going against it as well. It's going to be a rough one. Another wave of air spam coming in. Everything that Avalser sees is just easily, like, immediately targeted. 37mm can't stop everything. This is one of these occasions where your opponent is going so air spam heavy. What you need to make sure that you can do is that you can slowly grind the air force down. Basically what Koenig managed to do. Because at the end of the day, eventually, like, it will just pile up, and eventually, even if you buy more AA, your AA at some point will be overwhelmed. Because you have AA everywhere, and the opponent can, like, locally spam his air force. And the AA is just going to get overwhelmed there. So you need to slowly deal with them, slowly grind them down. Unfortunately, the AA has no vet, which is not really helpful there. But you need to slowly grind your opponent down, otherwise you're not going to make it. This is very, very important. Because it's just going to pile up and eventually you can't stop it anymore. You can still target, you know, Use your AA to target a single plane, and you might wear it down this way. But this needs to happen early, because the later you do it, the harder it's going to get. And eventually you raise that overwhelmed that you can actually just bomb it directly. And at that point, I think it's kind of goodbye for you. 13-11 for Koenig, as he now has this flag again. He has this one again, and he still holds that one. While Avalser has meanwhile only regrabbed this single flag down. The one in the center is also back with Koenig. So Koenig actually holding one more flag than Avalser right now. That could be coming in to help fight over this. At the moment, that's a rough spot to be in. The AT can definitely be killed. 122 though, it has a heat shell. You know, it can also finish these up close. Artillery has been silent and has completely failed to do anything meaningful against Koenig's artillery, which is currently out of ammo. It's about to be fixed though. No? Oh, he wants to resupply this first, as this is doing both, I guess, the rectifier support here as well as artillery duty. Going after another off-map, which is already used up though. And it probably will just shift over there. Another blob of Morskaya and recon to make sure that the target is good. And Hawk just to bait out AAs coming in. All of them focusing this poor single 37mm. I think it's going to get stopped. Yeah, both of them going to stop because another one is there as well. But again, likely not killed. No, they're not focusing on anything specifically. Another one of these is in now. Oh! That would have been one that I would have missed otherwise. And I'm pretty sure some of you would have pointed out in the comment, would have been really unhappy. Rightfully so. These are not something that you want to miss. One just does not simply miss a rocket off strike. Oh, look at that. That's going to hurt. And it's actually might open up a new front for Avalser. It's actually pretty reasonable, I think. I mean, Avalser knows that there's quite some forces here by Koenig, so you can basically do two things at one. You can really significantly weaken your opponent while also opening up a new front. Because usually, of course, you don't want to strike where your opponent is strong, but in this case, it actually makes a lot of sense. Good call there by Avalser. Koenig, in the meantime, just pushing in here as there's nothing here, so I guess Koenig's just like, well, don't mind if I do. More artillery coming out. The problem is at this time, I think it's not worth it calling in more artillery. He needs the front line at the moment, and I think the artillery battle kind of he's lost that anyway. The air battle is where it's at the moment, and we see that immediately coming down here. Morskaya, after got killed off, Tsel is now getting killed off as well. I'm going to ruin this actually dangerous again with the T-34 pushing relatively close in. Two more Ju-88s coming in. Just blind bombing things as Koenig expects there to be more. And these are coming in, but again, he kind of mistimed it. I should have called them when the off-map started going down. Or a little bit early, actually, because they're in slow transports. And now they might just arrive a little bit too late. D-34 coming in here to fix things. Most likely to be Morskaya after, but not trying to fix that, though, which I think is... Like, the bubble here is telling you there's probably not that much there. $75mm being a true pain there. The F-22s are going after this blob after the 122 there. Or T-34 versus 75mm. 75mm will get it eventually. There we go, down it goes. Oh, and 37mm just got deleted by the artillery piece. I don't know which one it was, but definitely see. Oh, this one. Huge kill there. Huge kill there. As we've seen Koenig's Air Force. Which I guess we're going to get to see in action right away as well. These guys, I think they seem to reload relatively fast. I mean, it kind of makes sense. He has been using them all day. Another Ju-88 coming in. I mean, he has lots of those. I think he has 6 of those available. And he probably bought all of them. Or maybe they also just reload super fast. Let's kind of have another super target-rich environment here. So Koenig, despite his off-map here, couldn't actually even get the flag, which is really bad for him. 45mm should probably not be able to kill that T-34, but he might panic with the bombing strike, show side armor, and then go down. It does not. The second Ju-88 can do the trick there. 14-10 for Koenig still, and there's only 10 minutes left for Avalser, so I would say he's not lost yet, but it's not looking good. He needs to get to 13-11 ASAP, and even then, maybe he needs a 59 by this point. Who knows? Osnats VMF still here, finishing off that 75mm. Since he's coming in though to contest that, more radio being provided by the CCKF and more reconnaissance, of course. Yeah, I think the F-22 blob is basically just useless. I think that is just 120 points plus ammo. 100 and, wait, I say 180 is what I meant to say. There's about 220 points that were just wasted entirely. I don't think they've really done much of anything. And if anything, he wants to use them close and within radio range. So, like, for example, within range of the Osnet's VMF radio. But this, I don't think is really... I think we have yet to see a direct hit. Or anything close to it. No, that was miles away. LKDP is catching a Zerxi Pioneer off guard, which is going to be absolutely crucial, because now that this thing is going in, it's going to smack that pretty heavily. The ground is just like, it almost looks like World War I area. It's it's definitely not as bad, but like this is like how it starts. I think third land for Koenig still, as he's still grabbing this, holding this flag, not grabbing. And Avalser is not holding any flag of Koenig at the moment. Morskaya coming in again. 37 mils have moved up though, so they're not behind the ditch here. This one is a little bit closer to forest, so it can't do much. This one is much better. Back at this still here, so both Spitfires probably going to be stopped. DBs are coming in as well. One of them is going to get forced off. The other one's probably not. I don't know what's going after. This one actually has a go at the DB. Might be able to finish it off with the damage already applied by the 7 mils. Yeah, gets a kill there. Might die to the vacancy now, especially as it flies into it, though it is in the forest, so it should lose line of sight relatively soon. But a double vet, I think it's going to kill it. Can't imagine a Spitfire surviving. There we go. I mean, at this point, probably worth it, but just not that good. Are the F-22s retargeted? No. He marks it, though. Morskaya coming in. There's 237 mil still here. So one actually needs to be careful. This thing could pop out and try to finish it. Oh, look at that. It actually has taken damage. Wow. Look at those big boy guns doing it. Almost, at least. Well, ammo is close, so I could actually lose him this one, because the ammo explodes way faster than the actual artillery piece dies. Still further land for Koenig, though. Avalser really needs to play for... So this is another thing. At this late in the game, counter battles should really just not that good. The best thing to do is go for anything that gives you flag, like shelling this and then moving in, for example. Trying to shell this and moving in, for example, would be a good call. Anything like that. Or like this right here, where you can't allow yourself, you can't use your artillery on counter battery, as it's just not affecting the front line as much on your opponent. Unless you can easily obliterate all those guns, your opponent will do what Koenig does, which is going after the frontline targets. Actually going after this, I think he spotted it, and he believes that there might still be one, but of course, all three have been used up by Avalser. There's no more Circle of Doom. Just maybe for the good. But at the same time, would have been hilarious to see another one. Like, watching is always great. Playing against, not so much. And playing it just feels dirty. But with this division, you have to. Very understandable. Ju-88 blob now forcing all of these back, so no grabbing flags here. 45 minutes, so less than 5 minutes left. And Koenig still has not let go of a flag, and Avalser has not even managed to equal out yet. Now Spitfire going in, another Spitfire getting forced off, so it didn't manage to kill any of these bombers, which is really bad for Avalser, but I think at this point it doesn't matter that much anymore. It's not going to be close, so it's not like Koenig can bring in a clutch bombing run that could have been prevented. I think the ship has sailed. Yeah, at this point, 59 would be needed for sure, and currently it's 30 for Koenig, so not really sure how Avalser is going to find those, 4 flags fast enough. Not Morskaya after coming in. I mean, once they're in, they really do a lot of damage. Problem is, Koenig just keeps running. And then this thing is kind of useless. Your car, in the meantime, poking at this over here. Oh, something just killed... Did one of these kill the... 37 mil? That's absolutely devastating. I mean, yeah, look at that. Artillery is still alive. Ammo truck did not actually die. Well, something died here. That might have been ammo truck. Or is it a plane that crashed? Like, why is this burning? Is this just a channel feature? I don't know. Something must have happened. Oh, and another strike. Oh, look at that. The Vectin finally died. Morskaya after got in, and they're really doing the damage. Although this one loses against the Akari. Didn't even expect that. Expected the Akari to really dominate. Another 37 mil down, another one pinned. And these guys just doing whatever they want. Tank being targeted to. Another 155 in. going after the off map here still. Let's see. I do want to see the duel. Oh no, if data is falsified here now, but this T34. Morskaya is also a little bit pinned though. Let's see what's happening here. This one is on the move order. Stop Koenig. I want to see how this thing did it. Oh, and Avalser surrenders before that happens. 47 minutes, 26 seconds on Tsel with an absolute fiesta. Koenig heavily outtrading Avalser. I mean, Koenig still had a good amount of ground units, and then there was the whole air force there. So that is, I think it was very clear there. Let's look at the chronology real quick. So some snipes here for Koenig, but Avalser retaliating. The first off map of the game, not super crucial though. Killing Lid is definitely important. He's getting some good CQC fights though. He's getting us a good first airstrike. And just generally the upper hand for quite a bit, even though Avalser had the flags. Koenig, I think, no, at the very start I think Koenig had the flags. But at this point Avalser definitely had them, but Koenig was getting good trades all around. I was kind of taken aback a little bit, but we just had the wasted off map here. And it is one off a few, so I think that was really crucial there. And we start seeing the RT part. Now, of course, this is the time for retaliation for Avalser with the Circle of Doom. But Koenig, immediately takes the lead again. And then we have another Circle of Doom. Otherwise, it looks like Avalser actually did really not do that much damage. The off map probably did as much as the rest. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at they actually killed it 122 and an ammo. Okay. Maybe I take back what I said. Though if Koenig would have cut back, that would have been very bad for Avalser. So I still think the F-22s was a mistake, honestly. Going through the kills, so Avalser, the VMF was pretty useful. These guys actually providing good use in one place. 50 mil, killing two T-26s casually, as you just do. But I mean, mortars can actually be dangerous to tanks. If you let your tanks sit around, they will eventually get it. Didn't know the 50 mil had the thing to do it. I tried a few times, but didn't really pay attention, so I didn't really see if it worked. Now we know that it can work. Morskaya Deck, actually, I mean, yeah, these guys are just not that good at range, all of them. One Spitfire actually killed two things strafing. That was very surprising to me, and kill a Hawk, so not too bad. Also, it's VMF. Doing some good things here. The first off map, killing two things. Again, it would have been great if that was a follow-up for that. T-34s, I mean, these things were really very key here for Avalser, I think. He lost quite a few points with them as well, but he definitely could hold up very well. And kind of like Koenig had some small infantry pushes everywhere at the start. And meanwhile, Avalser was held back by BA-10s and things like that. And T-26s. So those T-34s are definitely very crucial there and really did a lot for Avalser. He used them very well. And then we have the first off map, of course. Next off map, Strafnikis. I mean, no surprise there. More off map. And that's about it. On the other side, nothing here that really stands out. And then we have the first plane. Then we have the next plane. We have the CC. I mean, CC are fantastic. Lati are actually getting a lot of kills there. The first, I think that's the off map. Is that a plane off map? I think it is. Or is that an RTP? Oh, no, that's the RTPs that he brought relatively early on. Exactly. Kev actually doing quite a bit of work too. But it's very, it's very well distributed, actually. 75 mil, actually, this thing starts to do a lot of work. Another CC, the 122 did a lot of work. Lots of Pioneri doing, actually, wow. Look at this thing go. I mean, it's the easiest counter to the Morskaya after. Right. Throw in a TNT thrower there. Done. As good as it is, this is the easy way to counter this. It's actually a horrible thing for Morskaya after. If your opponent has a lot of cheap, like 20-point grenade throwers are fantastic for this. And this one is not a 20-point one, but 25 points not, still good. Trade 1-for-1 and your unit actually survives. So yeah, I think Koenig just had a lot more unit that did value. He didn't have like those units that has as much value as some of Avalser's. But yeah, great game. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day and see you next time.